grateful for you guys joining us. And we've received a lot of feedback from our listeners recently. And one of the biggest things is that they do not want to hear from our guests at all without our guests first answering these 3 key questions that we have for you. It's gotta happen. And they are what we call our Clubhouse questions.
What's the password?
New England clam chowder.
Is that the red or the white?
I can never remember that. White?
And since Ben's not here, I will have the honor of asking his question. But essentially, his is that you are on a deserted island, and you do receive an aid kit, but all it has is a TV and the complete filmography of your favorite director or actor. One of the two. And so, which director or actor do you want access to for the rest of your life? And you get all the new stuff, you get all the old stuff. It's just for that one director or actor.
Oh, real quick, I just had to say what's hilarious about the way you said that was your spacing over, like, our fans said they don't want to hear from our guest. And then you space for a while and then you continue talking. I'm like, what? I'm like,
keep you on your toes, man.
I'm like, your fans are be like, hey, we didn't say that. Like, what? We don't want to hear the I just made me laugh, bro. All right. So basically, we're on a deserted island. We get the whole discography, you could say, of whatever.
Any actor, any director.
Any actor or director, just the one?
Yep.
Well, you can be sneaky and you can pick an actor who can direct or vice versa. But yeah.
Oh, like Mr. Affleck, right?
Yeah, if that's who you
Although
want.
Freddie doesn't like Affleck. He just mentioned it.
Sorry, he's out of that list.
And it's their complete work. So like if they're if they cameo on a TV show, if they, put out an album, like it's all their work.
I love Frank Darabont, but he doesn't have a lot, like that guy, he has like very tiny, but I could watch Shawshank all the time, but
sure, for sure.
That's the downside. It's just like, I'm only going to get 4 movies,
Yeah.
Like, it's not much. And
I love Shawshank, but I don't watch it every time I see it on TV. Just most times.
Well, back when I had the TV set up like that, every time it was on, bro, I put it on. But I mean, if I have to choose, Christ, and all future works, if they're whatever they're gonna make, fudge, bro. I would pick someone that's in Marvel just because if they're gonna cross over, I'm gonna be able to see it. But I don't know.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. Damn. You know what? Nah, bro. I'm gonna go Spielberg, and here's the reason why. I mean, you could say it's a cliche answer or whatever, but you think about it, that fool has also produced a bunch, and that's part of his it's right there, bro. He so that's part of his like filmography. Yeah. So it's anything. So that means I'll still be able to get the Goonies, everything he's ever done, and anything future. I might be able to see Ready Player 2 when it comes out, whenever they do it, all the Jurassic Parks, the new Jurassic Park, but it's his name's still attached to it. So it's like,
he's on there.
Yeah. So it's like, I enjoyed The Terminal, people hated it, but I loved it. It's a good
I worked
movie.
at an airport. I worked at the airport when that came out. So it like felt especially relevant to me. And you say it's a cliche answer, but we don't get many repeat answers. I think only one other person has said Spielberg. So they're like, there is no, this answer is all
you get so
over
much
the
of
place.
Spielberg.
And it's just because it's so wide, but he's had his hand in even stuff that he didn't direct. That's the thing, and then, and boo, I didn't say boo, boom. I was trying to say boom. I would call you boo, like, hey, boo, what's up? No, but I could also see Blues Brothers. There you go. The Blues Brothers. Why? Because he cameoed in it. He was in it, like he had this little bit part. So it's like, I'll be able to watch him in that. So I get a little bit of Belushi and Aykroyd, so that's why, but if I'm going to be trapped on an island, dude, his thing is vast. You choose someone like, I'm going to be Quentin. And you're only going to get 9 movies. That's it. And then
that's what he says.
Yeah. And then plus Dusk Till Dawn and True Romance and Natural Born Killers. Other than that, like what else? What else are you going to get from him? It's not a lot, Like, so I want to pick someone that would give me a wide variety of stuff. Yeah. What about you, Freddie? So I'm assuming he's looking online to check.
Oh, man, that's a hard one, bro.
You know, it is tough. It's a tough answer.
I got to go to my gangster movies, dude. It'd have to be Martin Scorsese.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I had to, man. I had to because there's Goodfellas, there's Taxi Driver, there's Casino, Raging Bull, you name it, you know.
Well, and all his movies are like 3 hours long. So
yeah, so
you're going to take up a lot of time on the island.
Yeah, so, you know, I'll take a line and then take a stroll and then hang out, you know, and then come back and, I feel like watching Goodfellas, you know, and watch that. And
yeah, it's perfect. And I mean, you'll get the extended cuts too, so that's even longer. Like, isn't like the Wolf of Wall Street, just the regular cut is already like 2.5 hours long. So
yeah, so I like his movies because they're longer and then he gives you extra footage. I'm a big movie. I mean, I got to work with 35 millimeters, so I'm just like, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did subtitles for films for 10 years.
That's right. I heard that gig. on your Half Baked episode.
Yeah, so I was working on on these machines where, like, you know, these 35 millimeter films would get subtitled, and then digital came and destroyed that. And within 2005, it kind of came obsolete and everything went digital. So I had to learn all this new stuff. So yeah, I mean, Martin Scorsese would be.
Yeah, Scorsese's good, bro. That fool like produced a bunch of shit. You can get the whole series of Boardwalk Empire, you know, Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Like,
This is me. This is how I win.
The Joker, like, dude, this guy has like a lot of. Because he produced. I didn't realize he produced a lot. Dude, Deuce is Wild. Remember that one?
Well, you know, the old directors have more stuff because they've been around. I mean, these guys are in their 80s now, you know, and 90s.
Yeah, Marty's been around for a while.
That.
Yeah, so the new directors today, they don't last long because there's, you know, as soon as their number one, if their number one blows, that's it. You're done.
I didn't realize he was like a big time producer. Like, I didn't know that. I thought he was just straight out director. No. Like he wrote, direct, whatever, and that was it. He's like. No.
I feel like at a certain point they're just like, I can't direct everything, so I'm just gonna have my hand in some like everything going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'll just attach a producer here. I'll attach myself as producer.
That's what Spielberg did. Spielberg was like, I have this idea, but I don't have time to make it. Here, and he'll give it to one of his buddies that he knew back when. They go out and make it. He'll come in, check it out. Oh, this is nice. It looks good. All right, go do your thing. And that's how Goonies was. It was his idea, like, oh, I got these kids, they're gonna play, and he gave it to Richard Donner, and that was
let someone else do the work, and then you just cash the checks.
Poltergeist, like all these movies,
that's
bro.
The
like,
hustle.
Yeah, in the 80s, like he just attached his name to it, and he's like, yeah, here, go make it, get out of here.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, I love it. I mean, like I said, we don't get a whole lot of repeat answers. I think that's the first time we've had repeat answers. I think one other person has said Spielberg, and one other person has said Scorsese. So
okay.
That question's super fun because you really get like a sense of where people are coming from, kind of like what they lean towards. Like Santos, you went a little more towards like the happy, heartwarming, and Freddie went straight to gangster, straight to blood and guts. So
the real life, I've lived it, dude. I've lived it.
I was like,
you know,
fantasy adventure.
You know, I've been there, Holmes.
Well, speaking of being there,
Southgate, bro.
Southgate, no. Southgate.
I always want to hear about people's like experiences seeing movies, and it sounds like you guys have probably seen a ton of movies. Probably seen
hell yeah, bro.
A different, you know, in theater experiences or whatever. So that's what I want to hear about. Just like no matter what it was, whether even if it was just like the first time you saw a movie you like and it was at your friend's house or whatever. Just like, what are your favorite experiences watching movies? Freddie, I'll throw to you first on this one.
Wow. My movie experience was, well, thanks for my dad, God rest his soul. He was a very movie goer. So my first movie experience as a kid was seeing Superman on the big screen.
Oh, rad.
At the Man's Chinese Theater.
And how old were you?
That's cool.
I was 8 years old because they came out in 78, 79. No, or 77, 78. So between there, 78, 77, 78, 79.
Yeah, late 70s.
Late 70s. So I was 8, 9. Right? And to see, you know, my dad was, we're going to go to Hollywood. We didn't go to I was living in Southgate at the time. And he took us to Hollywood. And it was like a 40-minute drive from, and just seeing these big billboards and seeing, you know, the title Superman, the movie. And
yeah. Were you into Superman before the movie?
Yes, very into Superman. I grew up watching, you know, Spider-Man cartoons, but Superman, I don't know, for Superman really, I guess because flying really just thrilled me as a kid. Mm-hmm. And to see Superman, like, oh, I want to see Superman on the big screen. That was just, and watching that and seeing Christopher Reeve, that's my Superman, my generation.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He's not alive anymore. He's passed. You can read about his stories. Great actor, was friends with all of Hollywood, good friends with Robin Williams. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that was my Superman. That was the biggest experience of my life as a kid.
That's so cool.
Y'all bet. Because that was like the first time that one of those characters really jumped onto screen, and they did it well enough that it was like somewhat believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously it looks dated now, but
you know what? Time, if you really look at it today, you can still enjoy the art of how they used projection, and it's just amazing. Yeah, today's Superman looks, you know,
dude, it was 78 when it came out, but that Superman, if you watch that, it towers over certain films that was like in the 2000s effect wise. Like if you compare that to like the Scorpion King, the Mummy, garbage, bro. You know, like there's certain films in the late 90s and 2000s that you go back and you watch and you're like, holy crap, that looks like garbage, bro.
Like that scene. Sorry, like that scene. I just want to get in my head. It's my scene where Superman is like reaching to the rockets because the rockets are going to start this nuclear war or start the earthquake, and it's Superman 1. And you see these, it just looks so real. Like, you know, you see this big engine on Superman's face, and he's like pulling and then pushes out in outer space. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
even the title credits excited me. I mean, damn, what the title credit, bro.
Yeah. I can imagine what that would be like to be a kid, you know, especially because now if you're a kid, you expect your comic book character to show up on screen, right? It's like, it's no big deal. But at the time, like Superman he's real. He's right there. That would be rad.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, he wasn't like Superman today, all buff, you know, all fucking cut up. What's up, dude? What's up, steroids? Yeah. No, he was just normal, you know, regular buff dude, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why the tagline says, "This summer you will believe a man can fly."
Yeah,
like that's what it said on the poster. It just had the symbol, and it did, dude. For people going out, they're like, "Wow, like this looks so real." Like, look at what I'm saying. A man's flying.
Oh yeah.
I actually like to hear that perspective because, you know, you like I said, you can go back and revisit stuff, and you can see like, oh yeah, this looks compared to what we have today. Like, oh, this looks bad. This looks fake, but it's cool to know that in the time it was like, it seems like it had as much of an impact, or it was as big as like some of the Marvel stuff coming out now, or, you know, some of the Batmans coming out now. It's like, it's nice to remember that perspective. Santos, what do you got for us here? What was your favorite experience in the theaters?
Favorite experience? Let's see. Well, real quick, you know, the Godfather, Mario Puzo, the guy that wrote the Godfather, he did the story for Superman.
Oh, really?
He wrote the story by, and he wrote on the script. So you got a little bit of like fantasy and mob right there, bro.
Yeah, there you go. It all connects for Freddie.
Right. Let's see. Well, you know, it's kind of this similar, like when, like my whole thing is like, it always goes back to when I was a kid with my dad, because like we would always go to this theater over there in East LA. It was called Commerce Theater because of 2-for-1. You pay for one movie, you get it to a second film. And like whatever movies were showing,
I used to pull that scam in high school too. Are you sure that was like a promotion?
No, it truly was, because you sit in the theater and you wait. Once the movie's over, another one starts. But here's the scam part, bro. Like what we would do, and my dad, once we saw 2 movies, he's like, all right, ya vámonos. We're gonna go across the way, and right across was 2 other movies. So we'd go sneak into those 2, watch those. Once those 2 were done, all right, ¿cuáles? Okay, there's another one right there. Let's go. So we'd be there from morning to night, and we'd watch all the movies.
Oh, that's great.
I had like those experiences as a kid, like just seeing so many movies and all these like 80s movies that I got to see, that like Spaceballs or whatever. Like my dad took us all to go see it. Like notable moments, like I would have to say my very first, I saw someone tweet this out yesterday. They said, what was a movie? What was an experience where you heard the crowd like erupt and cheer, kind of like that Endgame moment with Captain America? And my first experience of that I always remember this because it really stood out to me, was Young Guns, the first Young Guns, and that's where like the whole crew's getting away. Half of them are getting killed and whatnot. And like from the gang and like the regulators and the main guy, the old man, he gets shot and killed. Right. And then that's when Billy the Kid returns back and the main villain, he's like, go chase him. And he pulls out the gun. I forget what he says.
Reap it, Murphy, you son of a bitch.
But he like shoots him and he shoots him in the head and he turns towards the camera all slow-mo. And the theater like erupted in cheers. And they were like, yeah, like literally like fucking Endgame. Like that was my, and I always like remember that moment of being like, wow, like, dude, everybody got so into this movie. And it's always something that I've always stuck to me, that moment where it's like now a lot of people are experiencing, like, you know, my son got to experience that moment when we took him to go see Endgame, you know, and it's just like, that always just stuck with me like that, where it's like, dude, like people get so invested in films. And other than that, like I've always loved movies. I can't think of any other, you know, moments of theaters, but that's one that's always stuck to me.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that. That's
perfect.
Moment.
I mean, that's why I like
great.
this question, because that like shared experience, right? That community feeling you have, like you don't know anyone around you, like you know your dad or whatever, but you don't know anyone else in the theater, and you all had that exact same reaction at the exact same moment. And it's cool, man. It's a beautiful thing.
And this is how you know it was a ghetto theater in East LA, bro. They sold burritos in that theater.
I want to go to that theater.
I want to go to that theater, bro.
They had their popcorn, but también they had the burritos right there, beans and cheese, frijoles. Yeah, it was good.
That's great.
I'm not exaggerating. They sold burritos in there.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Oh man. Well, so my third question is, so we have what we call on the pod our unsung gems. And what an unsung gem is it's that movie that you love that you feel like no one else in your circles love or appreciate enough, that you feel like or just in the world doesn't appreciate it or has seen it, but you love it unconditionally and you'll shout it from rooftops. What is your unsung gem?
Bro.
Oh man,
I wish I could look at my DVD shelf right now, because like I saw your kind of like your headlines of like, you know, when we're prepping, but I was like, I don't want to know going in. Yeah. So I it's like, this is the moment where I wish I prepped so I could have an answer for you, because there are a lot of stuff. For years it used to be Waterworld, because I really enjoyed that movie. I was like, why does this movie get a lot of hate? You know, but I know I have others like that are right there. Like I recently saw one that I couldn't understand why people hate this movie. It was I forget what it was called, but it was Steve Martin, Jack Black, and Owen Wilson, and they're bird watching.
Big Year.
Big Year. And me and my wife, we watched that and we're like, dude, this movie's like was actually good. Yeah. Like it got trashed, it got bombed.
I'm gonna put that on my list. I love all those people. I didn't know they were.
Big Year's great. Yeah,
it's an enjoyable film. Like,
all right.
You know, it's not like the greatest thing ever. Like, oh, hey, The Godfather or something like that. No, but we enjoyed it. We were watching it. We're like, it's a good movie, you know. So that's one. I guess it's like a hidden gem. I guess you could say. It's like, hey, no, bro, watch it. Like, you're gonna miss out. Like, you might enjoy it. You know.
I love that pick.
Do you have anything, Freddie? Like, can you think of that?
I'm trying.
That's something that was garbage, you know, people hate, but you're like, nah, man. Like, I love it.
I blanked out on that one, bro. I can't think of one.
That's how my recall works too, Freddie. If I don't like, if you ask me like a question, like, what's your favorite this or what, I'm like, I don't remember yesterday.
I'll probably like after this one would pop up. I know, and it'll
that's
be
how
late,
it works. Well, if you remember, just holler and we'll make sure we get it in there.
I will. I know I have, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. I can't remember which one of you was advocating for Harold and Kumar. That was you, Santos, right?
That was me, yeah, because he had never seen it. So that's what we're doing, a series this month of films that the other one has not seen.
Right, yeah.
I was going to say that could be your answer, but then I even realized that's not necessarily an unsung gem. People know about Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work either way.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Big business. I like that one.
I did a lot of films. I did a lot of foreign films. So there's some that maybe I can name from that list.
Yeah, absolutely.
But nobody would, you know.
See, I could give you a movie that I hate that everybody loves and I can't stand why they love it and I hate it.
I know which one.
Where do you go?
The Motorcycle Diaries.
I love that movie. Yeah.
You only know about it, right?
I do. That's a great one. We just talked about it a few weeks ago.
Che Guevara?
Yes, it's a story about him and his buddy traveling to Chile, Santiago, which I got to visit twice in my lifetime. So after seeing the movie years later, I was able to do a show out there.
Oh, rad.
Oh, yeah. 2004. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good film that people I actually own it on DVD. So there he is. That's the one that tells a story about Che Guevara and his best friend of, before he became that whole story.
Yeah.
It's basically right before that moment. Because
it was sort of his genesis, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but I love that movie. I think I watched it 2 or 3 times within a short span because I loved it so much. I need to revisit it. It's a good one.
Yeah. And then the actors are great. I mean, the Mexican and the Argentinian actor, and they just did a good job. I forgot his name. I don't have it here, but check that out, man. Motorcycle Diaries. It's a good one.
I picked it for we did Purple Rain, and so usually every episode we have we're going to do this later, but we have our Rushmore Mountain where we pick 4 of something under a certain theme. And so we picked motorcycle movies, and that's the one of the 4 that I picked. Yeah.
Nice.
It's the first one I thought of. It's
we
movie.
did that one, dude. But we love that film, so it's
Purple Rain?
Yeah, we both love. We did it, but we have love for that movie, bro.
I love that movie.
Even though we didn't trash it, but we realized how Prince really is the villain in the film, and Morris is like the
party
hero.
guy. Yeah, he's like, hey, what's up, man? We hang out with we hang out that depressed Prince dude over there. Come and hang out with us and do the bird.
Yeah, that developed a discussion online because people were like. That really got a lot of audience to start talking, with us about the film. How I'm not saying it's a terrible movie. I'm just pointing out how the kid is kind of the villain and not Morris. Right. And people were like, hold on. And after the conversation, they realized, I get what you mean,
Yeah,
but
I could see that.
Yeah.
We didn't think about that, but Matt had a good point where Prince he's sort of, it's like his super villain or superhero origin story, right? Like, he puts on the crazy clothes and he has this alter ego persona versus what you see in his home life. So it's like he compared him to Batman, but
that's what we said. It was a Batman and Joker story.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go. Now we're gonna hit more people. Hey, I heard you were talking about Prince again in another show. Hey,
what did I miss? Now we're gonna get downvoted. No, I'm just kidding.
This is the last episode. You guys are like, hey, we can't do this anymore. Too much hate. We got canceled.
Oh man.
Awesome. Well, thanks for answering those questions. We always love having
that
those Clubhouse answers. Those great answers.